So this week, I'm looking at the new commission that I'm actually going to be working on, which is called Harpo's Pizza from Leeds. It's going to be really, really quite nice because it's going to be quite deep. It's going to have quite a lot of interior detail and lighting and all sorts. But to do this, I'm actually using something called the Cricut Maker. Now, I bought this recently to kind of assist with things, but as you'll see, it does a very good job of cutting out whatever you've designed on the software for it. Now, this is me having a go at cutting out what I've designed for the shop front, and so you can see that it's, being very careful with the corners and the edges, following the program that I'd kind of set up. It looks really good. It sounds really good, and I'm really enjoyed using it so far for this project. But it's obviously something very different for me because I usually use my hands for everything, and so to kind of turn to this is quite different and interesting. But yeah, so you can see it's like kind of drawn it out and scored it. So basically, that means that there's no sort of overlapping of knife points or anything like that. Nothing, no damage to the plastic. It's really, really quite clean, and I think for me it means that my work will kind of excel by having this machine in my life. But I won't use it for everything. I'll kind of balance with doing things with my hands and those sort of classic ways. But certainly, if I've got to duplicate things, this will come in handy greatly. This isn't actually how quick it is. It's sped up, so but yeah, afterwards you peel it off its base that you put it on, and basically you pop out the pieces, which is really, really quite good, really, to have those score lines where you can, just pop the bits out and the windows and things. But yeah, as you can see, it, you just have to be very gentle with it, like you would if you just scored it by hand. But they're a deep cut. I put it on like a deep setting, so you would really like dig into the plastic card. This plastic card is not something that you generally use with the Cricut Maker. It's usually for fabrics and papers and vinyls and things like that for stickers. So I'm using it kind of in a different way, I suppose. Plastic card, I'm using it to score it rather than anything. But if I can get it to cut all the way through, it'd be fantastic. But I don't know whether that's something it will be able to do. I think there's another knife bit that I can get that will kind of allow me to do that. But for the meantime, like popping the bits out, I'm quite happy doing that. So we've got the actual front of the shop cut out and everything, and all the bits popped out. You can see how neat it is. I mean, it does need some sort of like a little bit of sanding here, there, filing, but generally, like it's really, really, really clean, and I'm really, really super pleased with it. Put it on the bit of acrylic that I'm going to use behind as the glass front, but and I've got the door to go in as well, so that's quite nice and neat, the way that's been done. But here's a time lapse of me actually putting all the little extra details on, so you can see how I use it like my hands as well as the machine, which is I think pretty awesome to have that facility. But let's take a look at just how I put these details on. you can see the precision that's really needed to be able to do this, and you have to really focus and things. But making sure I've got like 45-degree angles, particularly on those little white details that I've cut out, and and there we go. I'm filling up my plastic weld again, but off I go. Something that is above the shop front, which I need to do, is this brickwork. So I've turned to my old method of using clay, air drying clay, to be able to do this. Now what you're seeing here is me taping a bit of foam board just up to the line where I want the brickwork to kind of not overlap on, so that it can attach to the back of the front of the shop. But I'm just taping it round just to make sure that that doesn't happen, that it doesn't encroach a little bit. But yeah, you'll see me here, like, get a bit of water on and put the clay in position. And I always think it's never going to cover it, or it's never going to work for me, but I always make it do eventually. And the challenge with the clay is getting it level as well, because you want brickworks. It is a bit here, there, and everywhere at times, but you want it to be generally a nice flat surface to score into if you're going to be detailing that brickwork. But yeah. I don't know, I've got a mess doing this though, that's the only thing. But you can see, like, I really work it and make sure that it's get all them bumps out, add those little bits in to cover up the gaps and whatnot. So yeah, it's really quite good, So once I had smoothed it all out, I then actually went in with a made sure it was all flat and everything, and then I went in with a little sponge to make sure that, like, I got kind of like a stippled effect on the clay. So I did dip that in, or I actually poured some water on, and then I used the sponge. Then I just sort of work it around and stuff, but I used the sponge to kind of dab on and make sure that texture's there, because it all adds in really at the end of the day. I dragged it across a bit, got some sort of scraping marks, and the sponge also leaves a little bit of itself on there, so it means that you get this kind of extra sort of mottled texture. But I thought, why not give that a go? It's works with filler, so why not just do a bit with a sponge, and do it with clay. But you can see, there's the effect, like it's kind of decent really, from the end, Yeah, really, really good. I'm really pleased with how that looks. And then I forgot to actually film it, unfortunately, but I have scored in the brickwork, just lightly. I'll probably go in with a screwdriver once it's dry, and I was watching Adam Savage at the time as well, so catching up on one of his one-day builds, top quality guy, honestly. Also, the Big Bang Theory piece I've been doing over the past 2 weeks as well. I've been working hard on that, so lots going on there, and that's coming to an end now. I've actually nearly finished that piece. As I speak, I'm still waiting on some resin that I've been working on to try and get that to set and things. So it's kind of in the last bit of its curing time, but overall, like, it's been really, really good, this piece, and hopefully, you can see kind of just by a little bit of a picture here that it's all coming together really. So it's like, thanks for watching this week, and see me use this Cricut maker and all sorts, and yeah, I will hopefully catch you next week. Things are a bit busy, but hopefully I can get another video out. So see you next week. Thank you for watching.